Okay, checking in. We made it, ladies and gentlemen. We made it. This is the final episode in the Devotion DVD commentary, album commentary, and rambling series. I can't thank you enough for making it this far, but I can't remember exactly when this was made, but I do remember that Not Enough Pages and that Back in the Saddle were already in draft mode, and that it was sometime around June or April of 2025, I think. Because this was created so far away from where I felt comfortable enough to start structuring an album, this one was pretty close to being cut from the project altogether. Not only did the thing I refer to, or I was writing to in the verse that I had been working towards, not actually come to fruition by that September, I felt that this one was almost too vanilla to be stacked alongside songs like Collect Call and Patience when we got around time for album mode to really begin. And honestly, the first draft of this song had me really nitpicking and ripping apart parts of this song, adding a bunch of negativity that really doesn't need to be aired out the way that I initially thought. But the point is that this song has gone from, in my head, from like a loosey-goosey throwaway to a cornerstone of the album. It'll all work out. I love me a nice, warm, and sunny day, even if I don't have enough money for the rent, even if I'm exhausted from whatever happened yesterday or last night, if I'm waking up to the birds singing outside and the breeze hitting in just the right way, I know I'm gonna be all right. When I wrote this song, I thought that manifesting an outcome that I wanted and putting it to a timeline was only going to give me strength to help me get there. But after so many months away from writing these lyrics, I begin to see that it may have done more damage than it should have. Writing a victory lap may have had the initial advantage of giving motivation through an unknown time, but as the goal line got further away, it began to make the reality that lied in the next steps I needed to take that much harder to see clearly, and much less to actually take as far as the steps go. But I now see the song as me talking to myself in the past, not from a future that I don't know is coming, but from the present that I'm fully aware of. I realize that this is in fact everything I've ever wanted. Needed my past to see the present as someone who can follow through with the ideas that started as breadcrumbs and have become a cake or something. I needed to prove to my past that those days where it felt like I would always be one way were just doubts that really couldn't hold any water. The thing I chase so hard doesn't exist in the future where it would be just as unobtainable as has been in the past, but instead it lies in the present, the here and right now that I can fully experience. I know that I'm favored for greatness. It's evidenced from what I read in the Word, from what I hear from the people around me, and from what I feel inside. Many of the problems that I face in life don't stem from something in a particular environment, but from my reaction to those somethings. An inconvenience or a setback is only as big as I make it in my mind, and the struggles that I genuinely face come from the realization of that fact and the constant comparison I make between how I currently react versus how I want to be reacting. When life feels like everything that can go wrong is going wrong, when all the prepping and planning you do to attain a form of control over where your life looks to be heading in a different direction, it's not at all easy to hold to the following sentiment that gives more peace the stronger you believe it. In the end, it'll all work out. You'll see. Chill out and don't worry. It can be really easy to look at the people around you, the people online, the vision that you have for where you want to be, and tell yourself that because you aren't that picture at this exact moment, you aren't doing enough. That idea can have such a hold on you, and maybe you too have found yourself trying to force yourself to relax, even when there isn't anything that you should be doing instead of relaxing. But if you don't rest, you burn out every single time. Have you put some work towards your dream today? Even if it was just a small bit of work, or even if it was just a bit more than yesterday? you've done enough. It won't happen overnight. And if it did, you'd be probably more panicked and pressured than you feel right now in this time of, before it's actually happening. I don't want you to listen to your feed that claims to have all the answers to your problems, when half of them don't even do what they say that they do. Taking a step at all, any step at all, is better than sitting in one place. Just take that step again tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that. There'll be days when you take less of a step than the routine you're trying to build. There'll be days when you won't be able to move at all due to an outside circumstance. Get it into your head that those are outliers, not symptoms of a root problem with your motivation or dedication to whatever it is that you're doing. Give yourself the grace of not being in control of everything, if you can even do that. Can you even do that? I couldn't do that. Not really. Not until I gave the control of my future over to a God that can handle it. If you're going to put stock into the wisdom of man and you've watched the results fail you again and again, but you keep listening to them anyway, this isn't going to mean anything to you. People probably sit out there thinking that giving control of your life to God is akin to giving up out of weakness, when they couldn't have it more backwards than if they were wearing socks for gloves or they had beanies on their big toes or something like that. Giving up control means giving up on trying to hold everything at once. It means sacrificing your pride and ego of wanting all the credit at the end of the project to be yours. Sacrificing your need for the result of what you work towards to be exactly how you envision it. To attain, in an attempt to attain the peace of enjoying the journey to get there, no matter what happens along the way, and no matter what there actually looks like or ends up being. Because the fact is, it doesn't matter how many times you write a plan or a goal sheet, you have no idea how it's actually going to look once you get there. And if you're doing all of this alone, with just you and your thoughts,
of course,
you're going to blame yourself when things go differently. Of course, you're going to blame your environment. You're going to look for every possible explanation that you can to justify not being who you want to be at the exact moment that you wanted to be that. There were only two options when my latest and greatest traumatic event hit my life. I could have chosen to get better or to get worse. I could have dove deeper into the band-aids I had been using for years that didn't work, or try something different. Either way, I'm living in a delusion of heaven or hell while walking through this reality. And neither were excluded, but considered to great lengths. And since I was young, I knew I wanted to be great, so which path was it going to be that was going to get me there? The next few lines don't speak to a specific plans or circumstances, they just reiterate the points made before them. After analyzing every plan that ever failed, I'm over this idea of planning my life like I'm Plankton from SpongeBob trying to steal the secret formula. You know, all that stuff with like Plan Z and stuff like that. I remember, there are just too many things outside of my control that have the potential to knock something off course. And some of those things may be my fault, but most of them might not. Most of the time, I find that I'm doing my best with what I have to work with. So instead of measuring success by the amount of setbacks, I'm choosing to look at time differently. Even if I'm not where I wanted to be, I can't wait to see what happens by September, and the September after that, and the September after that, because one of these days in the future, I won't make it to another September. Or one of these days in the future, the people that I'm currently enjoying this season of my life with may not be there. And if I spend all of my time in between where I'm at and where I want to be by stressing about all the pieces not being shaped in the way that I think that they should go, I'm going to miss out on memories and experiences that can only be gained along the way. And that's it. That's devotion. True devotion to me is giving up control over what I think is best and leaving it to the professional. The one who exists outside of it all, the one that I trust when he says that his thoughts and plans for me are good, that his thoughts and plans for me are that of an expected end, something I can look forward to, something I might not even fully understand, that'll be greater than I can imagine. Voice crack. But really, thank you so much for watching this DVD commentary, interpretation, album commentary thing, breakdown series thingy. It was really cool to make, and it helped me appreciate the album far more than I already did before putting this together. And it also feels kind of perfect for what I want this channel to segue into. I'm going to be starting a Bible study series that I've been working on for a few months now, and I'm really excited to share my thoughts about what I'm reading with you through that lens or through that avenue or whatever. I don't want to stop doing other stuff though, like I'd like to stream video games still or get back to doing that again. I'd like to keep making music, and I'd like to continue to do other things that aren't specifically Bible focused, because I don't think that to follow God's word means that you have to sacrifice the things that you want to do. I think by following him, you get to do more than you ever could without him. I'll be releasing the introduction video for the first Bible study tomorrow, and you'll get an episode of that every Sunday, Lord willing. The summary of the idea of what's really got me hooked on God at this point in my life is this. I have suffered. I have loved. I have been confused about understanding both of these aspects of my life. God has suffered. God has loved. God has answers to how suffering and love are connected, and they check out as truth to me given my own thoughts and experiences. I want to show you what I've been seeing. I want to show you how God bridges the two emotions in such a way that it feels to me that there is no other God but him. And the least I can do and that it's the least I can do in return for what he's done for me is to share who he is to those who might not have sought out after those answers themselves. But seek the answers yourselves, please. I'll probably repeat that sentiment 1,000 more times if I haven't hit 100 already. But the most important part of a walk with God to me is not taking someone else's word for it. It's by finding him through your own path. It's by talking to him in your own life. And it's by reading his word with your own eyes. But, we'll get more into that as we go along. For now, thanks for checking in. Thank you for listening. I hope you got something out of this. I'm pretty glad that this is over. At least the recording of this is over. There was a lot of thought that went into breaking these things down, and there was even more, apprehension about does this whole concept make any sense at all? I had so many doubts, so many mental things that were no, don't do it. Just don't even drop the album. Don't even, much less put all this work into all this other stuff. And I'm glad I didn't listen to it, because that doubt was really loud. It was really loud, and it was consistent too. But here we are. Isn't that cool? Here we are anyway. I don't know. I could keep rambling and talking to you for a minute, but I should probably let you go. You got big things to do. You got big things to think about. And I'm not being sarcastic. Thank you for watching. I hope you got something out of this. I really do. I hope you got something out of this. I will see you in the next one. I will see you tomorrow in the introduction video for this thing that I'm going to be doing. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. And, dude, I know you're thinking about doing something. And not like this. Maybe like this. But, not necessarily like this. I know that if you have watched from the beginning of this, from Not Enough Pages, from introduction video, episode 0 to 7, or 8. Yeah, technically it's episode 7, but it's the 8th video. I know that you thought about doing something. Dude, do it. Do something. And I don't mean post something right now. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying work on something. Do something. If something's been ready to post and you've been sitting on it, well then maybe you can maybe do that. But dude, just do something. This was a lot of work. Putting all these, the music itself, sure, that's a given. But putting all this extra stuff, these commentaries that I don't even know if they make a ton of sense. I don't know if people are really going to be following what I'm saying. And I think I even mentioned last video, I don't even know if all the commentaries really reflect what the music is doing. But I knew that I wanted an album rollout of some kind. And I knew that there was more to this album than what was just said in the lyrics. And I had been already talking to, I think I showed this album to 2 people before this album came out. Sam and Amanda, shout out Sam and my sister Amanda. And I don't know, I caught myself being no, but do you get what this means? Do you get like this is where this is coming from? Oh, it's so cool. And it was like, well, why don't I share that with you? Why don't I share that with you? I got a lot to say. Why not just, why not just say it? So, do something too. I want to see it. I want to see what you're doing. Even if you think it sucks. Actually, especially if you think it sucks, so that I can take that thought out of your mind. Because even if you make something and it's bad or it sucks, it's like, at least you made something. You know how many people aren't making anything? There's a lot of people that aren't making anything. You don't have to be one of them, and they don't even have to be one of them. Oh man, I'm rambling a big ton, but it's like you can tell I'm from the Midwest. It's hard to just say goodbye. Okay, I'm going. I love you. I love you so much. Thank you. And I see you tomorrow.